welcome! So I'm finally back with a new video, and today we're gonna talk a little bit about shedding. Today's video is gonna be a bit calmer than usual because, as you may have seen on my Instagram in my previous video, I got an operation in my knee because of a meniscus tear, and that really hurts. But I'm on strong painkillers right now, so I'm good for the moment. The reason why I'm not gonna bring out any of the big snakes is for their safety and for my own. Let's say if I take baby out, baby's like over 2.5 meters, and if she gets scared or gets aggressive or something happens, I won't be able to deal with her the way that I'm supposed to be able to because of the knee, because I can't walk. Today is gonna be all about shedding, and I've received some excellent questions, and I'm gonna give you the answers as best as I can. As usual, this is my experience, this is what I've learned so far. Take what you can use, and if you think I'm wrong, then just don't do it. I'm gonna do my best to answer all of your questions, guys. So let's start out with the basics. What is shedding? Shedding is what happens when the snake is growing. It's a natural process, and the snake does it ever since it's born. Every time that the snake is growing, it sheds off this thin layer of skin. This is what a shed looks like. This is what most people would consider a healthy shed. And the reason that it is considered a healthy shed is because it's in one big beautiful piece, as you can see. Sometimes you will see that snakes shed in several small pieces, and usually that's seen as a sign of the snake not being completely healthy. It can be because the humidity is not right. I've had some snakes who shed in smaller pieces, and when I turned up the humidity, the next shed was just perfect. So that is one of the main reasons, but some of the other reasons can also be that the snake is ill, and then you should definitely look into it. But as long as all of the shed gets off, preferably in one big beautiful piece, that is an excellent sign that your snake is very healthy. When do I know that my snake is shedding? A very good sign to look for when your snake is in shed is when the eyes turn blue and the rest of the colors kind of get like grays and dull. That's an excellent sign, and if you see it, you can almost be sure that within, I tend to say 10 to 12 days, the snake will shed. Keep an eye out for the blue eyes and the dull colors, because that means the snake is in shed. Almost every snake, except for a few, almost every snake will refuse to eat during the shed. It's completely normal, it's nothing to worry about. Once they've shed it off, they are usually pretty hungry, and they will eat afterward. How to unroll a shed. In order to get a shed in one big beautiful piece like this, you need to unroll the shed as soon as the snakes shed it. Here I have a video, and you can see how I'm kind of like unrolling it. When the snakes just shed, it's kind of gooey and wet, and it doesn't smell that good. But it's important that you take out the shed as soon as possible, because if you let the shed dry, you won't be able to unroll it as well, and it will kind of crumble and fall into pieces. So it's very important that you unroll it as quick as possible, and then you kind of like lay it out as long as you can, or as long as the shed is, so it can dry up. Usually I let it dry for like a day, and then you will have it in one big beautiful piece. How often do snakes shed? We are keeping a journal on the animals, on basically everything. How often we feed them, how often we change the terrarium, and how often they shed. And we've been able to conclude that they don't do it at specific times. It's not like they do it every other day or every 20th day or something like that. It seems to go along with how often you feed them. The more you feed them, the more they grow, the more they need to shed. One of the coolest thing about sheds is that you can actually see the pattern from the snake, and I think that's absolutely phenomenal, because I thought that it was just kind of see-through, you know, like just one color, just like boring, but you can actually see the patterns. I'm gonna show you this. This is the shed from one of my bigger snakes. I actually believe that it belongs to Samara. Samara you've already met. She's my big BCI girl. She gave me this wonderful beautiful shed. And it's looking quite big, and Samara is a big girl. But the thing about sheds is that they get bigger than the snake is. Don't be alarmed if you have a snake that's like 1 meter and you find a shed that's way bigger than that. It's perfectly normal. I'm gonna take this a bit closer so you can actually see. Alright, as you can see here, now, this is the coolest thing ever. You can actually see the pattern. You can see the pattern that Samara have on this shed, and I think that's the coolest thing ever, because I didn't think you could do that. On the other side here, you can also see the scales from the belly, and they look way different than the one on the top. And I think, oh, there's a hole. That is what happens if you unroll it wrong, or if you unroll it while it's a bit dry. I think this one was a bit dry when I did it. Anyway, so front and back. This is another shed. This is from my BCI male Artemis. Here you can also very clearly see the markings from him, and I think it's absolutely stunning. It's a fun thing, because that means when you collect the shed, you can actually see what snake it's from. Alright, so the cool thing I wanted to show you guys is up here. As you can see, is it in focus? It's in focus. Alright, as you can see here, you can actually, I'm gonna go closer. There, you can actually see the eyes. Now, how cool is that? This is such an awesome shed. I really love it when you get the head as well. It's very difficult when they're shedding and when you're unrolling it to actually have the head with it, not because you are doing anything wrong, because they have a tendency, it has a tendency to break a bit when they're doing the shed. So you have to, you just basically you have to be lucky. But this is one of my absolute favorite. I think this is so cool. Look at that. You can actually see like the eye caps and stuff. Here is another shed from one of my smaller snakes. You can also clearly see the markings, and underneath here the belly. I'm a big fan of keeping the sheds from the snake, because I think it's a wonderful souvenir, and it's an amazing thing also to bring along to people who don't know much about snakes, because they actually have the opportunity to touch and to feel and to see these sheds, because you don't usually do that. I mean, you see the snakes, but this is one of a kind. I think it's pretty interesting. Alright guys, that was a short video for now. I have to go down and relax my knee because it's really starting to hurt. I'm gonna do a video again as soon as I possibly can. I really enjoy making these videos for you guys, and I really enjoy reading all your comments and everything you have to say to me. So please keep on writing me, guys. It really means a lot to me. As usual, you can find me on Instagram under the name jossersjungle. If you have any questions, anything, write me. Don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to my channel so that I know that you like what I make. It means a lot to me. So thank you for this time, guys, and bye bye.